Good morning. It's a little bit cooler today in the neighborhood today. Is everybody doing good this morning? Hi. Dawn's got the garage doors open to let in some cool air or let out some hot air. Hi, girls. Ruby's headed to service today to get her air conditioning checked and the back liftgate button checked. She's charged up, I think, to 70% and ready to go. I got a lot of stuff in my hands again. You guys know how it is. Don's gonna follow me, or I'm gonna follow him up there. We don't have any information about a loaner, and I'm not counting on one today. Good morning, Ruby. Ruby thinks I should be headed to the school. That makes me a little sad. Sad that we're not. Yeah, I didn't receive a service estimate for this visit, and when I click on the service appointment in the app, Dawn and I both get an error, so I'm not sure what's going on there. I probably made it a little hard for Dawn to back out and get around me. I tried to get out of the way for him, but he's waving at me. That way I get to film more of the Model Y. Yeah, the procedure here is to pull up to the service bay. Model X front and center in the new area. I'm liking it. There's two white Model Ys over here. Yeah, one's black interior and one's white interior. Yeah, it's really weird seeing this X with black under the dash instead of white. That's just because that's not what we have. That's just odd. And I was noticing the wheels, you know, with me and Ruby, that would be a recipe for disaster. They're pretty, but they're just not practical. Yeah, I heard about them changing this here, hold a wallet or a key card. I actually rely on the room in there for that Echo Auto, and that might reduce the room a little bit, but I like it. Looks the same inside that part.
The X 5-seater has, I'd say, more room than the Y. I mean, this is by a considerable amount. So for sure, the 5-seater, and I'm sure the 6-seater, when you bet the seats all the way back, I'm not knocking the 6-seater, but I was impressed with how much legroom was in the Y, and I had never sat in the second row or the back row of a 5-seater before, and I would tell you there's tons of legroom back here. And the headroom is good on the sides, but in the middle I would have a problem. So if you really are carrying 5 people, I would say the Y is actually better because if they're adults. Now if you got a short person that can go in the center, no problem. The X is the car to have.
But the legroom is comparable now that you've sat in it,
yeah,
or more?
The legroom in the X is vastly more. I mean, it's like 6-8 inches to the back of the seat.
Right.
I mean, even if the driver was really tall, I don't think it would be a problem.
So Dawn told me to sit in the seats because they would be more comfortable and different. I just don't notice that much of a difference. It's not like, oh God, this seat feels great, let's swap cars, because I need the more comfortable seat. I'm just not getting it. They're comfortable. I mean, I'm comfortable, but more comfortable, nah. So instead of saying Model X with a nice silver, easily scratched plate there, it's an X, but it's not silver, and it's just different. I'm going to say I prefer mine, but then I'm used to mine. Dawn says I should sit back here. This is actually a 7-seater. Yeah, I'm totally comfortable, but I'm not going to be convinced that I like a middle bench row instead of the 2 captain's chairs. Remember we told you that Jules has like a more padding in the back, that this is softer. This X does not have the upgraded padding, so this is just like what we have in Ruby. I like this just fine.
Yeah.
But I'm just noting that the Y fabric in the back is different than the X. Hey!
Hey, yeah, so this is the front seat is very far back at this point, and
yeah.
now I'm in.
And the middle seat is as far back as it goes. You can see there's not really any spare room over there.
Yeah, but it's very comfy from that. I mean, there's plenty of leg room.
So with the door open, it looks like your head would be tall. And I know when it closes, there's a, you know, it's not like that, but it almost looks like your head would be tall for that seat.
Right.
Would be really close, yeah.
Without the cutout, I would probably.
Yeah, the cutout makes the difference with the glass there.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. If you really need to carry.
Right, and you can see if Don sat in the center, it wouldn't be comfy for him. Well, first off, it's a little tiny butt seat.
The leg room is fine.
Right. Well, of course, the console is actually less room than the seat.
Right.
And there's nobody ever moving it on you there, so.
Yeah, but it is comfy.
Right, but your head is.
Yeah,
can easily be touching.
Yeah, well, I can kind of tell.
Yep.
I'm ducking I would not want to sit this way
for any length of time. Yeah.
You got to be like 5'10" or less, probably.
Yeah.
So that's the only disadvantage. So if you got some, but I would tell you from the seat point of view, sir, and the view is like to die for.
Yeah. Well, one of the Ranger vans is here. Yeah, we figured out that this door over here, the car's being delivered. Those 2 Model Ys were being delivered.
Well, how you get rim rash? This is how you get rim rash.
Yeah.
Be very careful.
I assure you, my cars never get that close to the curb.
Yeah.
Unless Don's driving.
Yes, let's not talk about that.
And this is here because? Yeah, this is a 3 with, you know, chrome delete, fancy tires, and a red T.
The Model Y with rim rash.
Oh, God, that makes me so sad.
That just sticks a dagger through your heart.
I hear you that.
I mean, honest to God.
Yeah, well, the car, it happens, but the car does give a lot of options for avoiding that. Like I said, it's just packed with Teslas out here, absolutely packed.
Yeah.
I guess those ones up at the street are available for immediate delivery, Donnie. They don't have any plates on them, no dealer plate, no person plate.
Right. Well, it's very possible that, yeah, if you were to order a certain Y in a certain configuration,
you could pick it up ASAP. Yep, I'm thinking they've got a few. On the lot. 3, I see 3s and I see Ys. Yep. You get a really good perspective here. You know, we do comparisons with the Y and the X all the time because that's what we have, but here's a Y and a 3 side by side. And as Don said, the Y is not the little scoot around car that you would think, because, you know, it's sort of in between the 3 and the X size.
So here's the wheel comparison on the Y. This is the Uber turbines. They're missing the little center caps. They probably just haven't.
And you said 20 inch?
Those are 21s.
Okay.
These are 20 inch. These are the upgraded tires. You have to pay, I don't know how much more, but these cost a little bit more. This is a dual motor. And then here's the, I believe, the standard wheels. Let's call it with
the cars being delivered inside had those.
Yeah, and these I think are 19s. Looking somewhere on the sidewall here. Yeah, these are 19s.
19s, okay.
Yeah. So those are the 3 wheel choices there. Well, I guess this is a 4th choice over here. I haven't seen these. This is a
something
this is a...
Well, it's new though. It's got tape on it.
Yeah.
Don't know about those wheels.
Yeah, these are 19s also. I like, oh, those must be the wheels. Yeah, okay. So this is with the hubcap, the caps removed. I can see.
Oh, okay.
If you look closely up in
Okay,
here, you can
I
see,
understand.
and that's what it is with the caps removed.
I like that wheel.
Yeah, especially if you go by the 50-buck lug nut.
Yep. I like that wheel
The center
actually.
cap.
Actually like it a lot.
So I would tell people that's a very nice looking wheel.
Well, I even like the aero covers better in two-tone.
Right.
I think that's a big improvement personally.
Yeah.
That's much more appealing to me than the single color.
Yeah.
But then I like chrome, and it looks silver. It's plastic, but it looks, you know, chromy. So that's probably why I like it.
Right.
Donnie, they had Ruby's infotainment system.
Really?
Really?
Ooh. Oh, so the right thing to do in the future if you want to get something quick.
Oh, you're gonna get me in trouble with them.
Oh, never mind. I didn't say anything.
That's right. They didn't promise her by end of day, and I told them it was no hardship on
right.
us if we didn't pick her up till tomorrow morning or tomorrow sometime. That was fine. Somebody else needed their car back quicker today. I have a, you know, Tesla to drive.
Right.
Started the conversation with me about what kind of ride I had or didn't have, and I just said Don's here. And so his service appointment for Thursday with Jules, they said they don't have a loaner for him, and they would give him a Uber credit if he needed it. Well, I'll just be following him up there unless something totally inconvenient happens. But
we struggled. I made mine
a day in advance to give us some cushion on when we got Ruby back.
I half expected that they'd keep her overnight and then finish it up tomorrow, and then we come up the next day and drop this car off and pick that car up. I was gambling which way was it going to go, but it sounds like they're going to finish it late tonight, so maybe tomorrow morning we'll come pick her up. I don't know when but basically it sounds like my plan is going to miss. I'm off target by...
I suppose when we pick Ruby up, we could ask them. I mean, I'm sure we could leave Jules up there, but we don't want to leave Jules up there outside overnight. So, I'm sure we could just leave Jules when we pick Ruby up, since her appointment will be the next day. Anyway, they're putting Ruby's infotainment system in. We'll keep you apprised as to what happens. They did note that they saw some alerts for the air conditioner.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They didn't tell me what the alerts were, and I was too awestruck inside the new facility to ask for details.
Yeah, they
I might be able to find out though, but so they know something. They've researched it enough in advance to know there were some alerts on the air conditioner. So hopefully that won't be a big fix. And I made sure they were, you know, knew about the button. So we'll see what that does. I'm very excited.
Hopefully, I'm hoping they will diagnose the button before they replace the MCU infotainment upgrade, because after they put the MCU info upgrade, they're going to go push the button and it's going to work. Oh, they say, oh, the customer, you know, they're delusional, and then they might push it twice and it'll work. But you know, they need to push it and live with it a day. In other words, it's failing right now. Before you do anything else, fix the button.
Right. I could not prove causality. It seemed like if I rebooted, I got one button push before it quit, but I can't say that with certainty. So it seems like it's a hardware failure. Something's loose back there or intermittent. I don't know. Anyway, they need, like Don said, it would be good to
right now, before you change anything, reset the car, put it in service mode, whatever you could do, is a good idea to go push button. Now, they may have a really good we used to call it lamp test mode. Back on the 370 system consoles, they had a little button you could push and all the lights would turn on the mainframe. And so you could test it, and then later on, obviously down the road, there were test diagnostics you could run. So when you flip switches, that would turn on a light or off a light to test the switch. So I'm sure they've got something similar to that now on the diagnostic console. Surely they've got a thing that says test all the buttons, and you can mash the buttons to your heart consent and just lights up on the screen, says the button's good, button's bad, no, make, break, whatever. But we'll see. No idea.
Yeah, I told him the only thing that I really care. Yeah, I told him the only thing I cared about is if it's gonna hail, make sure Ruby's inside the bay. That was my, you know, the only way I think they could upset me is leave her out in one of those severe thunderstorms. But they have so much more room now, so much more room. I think they can get a lot of cars in there, especially if they have any advance notice. So
right,
yeah, they, you know, at the old service center they got room for 5 cars. In this service center they got room for 25 cars. So
right,
maybe not all that were in the parking lot, but I think, you know, you got to take your customer cars in first and let the, you know, lot vehicle, the Tesla inventory be possibly damaged by the storm. At least there's good hassle, you know, insurance for that doesn't hassle one of your customers.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have a protocol.
Right. But the other thing I was going to say is I made the delusional statement. I must have been delusional when I made this statement. There's not enough parking places there. That's a very large parking lot, and I had to hunt a parking place. Now, I found a parking place, but the point I'm making is there's not a lot of excess parking places even at this one. My complaint with the old one was there was no parking, and there's more parking here, but there's not enough parking. So,
right, never enough parking.
never enough.
Carolina sky, it don't get any prettier than that, Donnie.
Yep, it is beautiful.
Don needed a couple things from Home Depot, so Home Depot, here we come. So Don's got 3 pieces of J channel. He's confident he can maneuver it into the Y.
Yeah, I think so. We're gonna find out if it'll hold an 8-foot length of something. I'm gonna go have Marianne sit down so she can kind of grab the
guide it in the front, yeah.
And then we'll put her in there and see how it works.
I
can let the seat down. Ooh, way cool. First time a legitimate let the seat
reason
down.
To do it, yep. We got Ryobi trimmer string and
daylight bulbs for the garage door.
And blue tape, because we use it for everything, and having some 1-inch blue tape around is a must-have. Got to tell you, it's hot with the mask on today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Walking uphill, it's, you know, exercise for me.
So Marianne has it at her footwell and it's pushed all the way forward to where it's hitting the floor mat in the front, and we got a good foot. So I would say you could get up to an 8-foot something in here.
No problem.
No problem. Now obviously this is lightweight, flexible, yada. So I'd be careful with a 4x4, an 8-foot 4x4. I'd be a little bit more careful with it, but I would say you might get it to go from here to the screen. I guess we could try that.
Yeah, it's all right.
All right.
I would say that it's 18 inches from my knee up underneath there, possibly 2 feet, maybe more like 2 feet. I'm in Walmart to get Allegra. Yay, bring on the fall stuff. Still trying to finish up the parking lot here. I don't quite understand what they're doing, not that that matters. Tons and tons and tons of activity still at the, you know, order your groceries online and come to pick them up. Not so much outside in the parking lot where there's only 1 or 2 cars currently picking up, but you gotta love spelt tomato sauce. But inside, they must have had 15 employees in the pickup store wait area working on orders. Don couldn't see me because of that construction, so I came up here to him. That's all right. Exercise is good for me. He'll be devastated he didn't see me and I had to walk. Thank you. Nice, people actually stopped. That's good. So now that we're home, we're gonna test exactly 8 foot. I'm gonna be up here guarding the screen, and Dawn's gonna try to move this thing back flush, and we'll see where it goes. It's hard to film with me sitting here, but all right, so.
Yeah, so it's 8 foot, it's just at the screen, is about 6 inches past the end, so maybe try see if you can get it to go under the screen.
Under the screen, okay. That's as far as it could safely go.
That's 2 inches too far. So basically the only way you can put 8 feet in here
is at a diagonal.
At a diagonal.
So it's just a little over at the back there, huh?
Yeah.
All right, there you have it. We're home now, and Don is doing a couple things in the garage. I think he said he had one more board he wanted to paint white. I'm gonna go see if there are any butterflies on those flowers at the mayor's house. I've been sitting here for about 10 minutes in the AC, looking over at the flowers to see if there are any butterflies or interesting insects, and there aren't. So, not today. Try again another day. The flowers are still going to be pretty for a while, especially the lantana part. So, just not happening right now. It's really not worth it to me just to film the flowers if there's no other activity on the flowers. So, nothing ventured, nothing gained. I have it on good authority that if you put your foot in it with those glasses up there, they come flying down. There was a guy burning crap on the side of the road and all this smoke, and I just didn't want to go through there and get smoke in the car, so I may have put my foot in it a little bit. Maybe. Yeah, Jules is down to 81 miles of range, 80 miles of range, and we got to go pick up Ruby in the morning, so I'm going to plug her in. Don and I are doing plenty good with just evaluating the cars in the evening and plugging in when we need to. Whoa, not used to that way that opens. Did I get it in okay? Green, yes, we have green. All right. Still a little stiff because it's new, in my opinion. I think it'll be a little less stiff over time.
Hell, is there a party going on in here or something?
I don't know, there can be now that you're here.
Wow, look at all this. Man, everybody out here.
Yeah. I was just gonna give them an update on Ruby.
Oh.
Yeah. So, first off, I had 3 or 4 messages today from the actual technician working on Ruby.
Yes.
Very
Sweet.
polite and informative, and I was never wondering what was going on with my car. So that was awesome. First thing is, they put coolant in the AC. It was 3/10 of a pound low.
Yeah,
and they added a dye, and well, they evacuated the system, then they filled it back up, and then they put a dye in there. So Don says that if it leaks again, we'll know where the leak is.
Yeah,
that's the goal of the dye.
That will help them find where the leak is.
Yeah, and it was like $122 before tax. It was reasonable. Hopefully it won't leak out real quick. Like it'll last us through the winter, and we won't be thinking about it until next summer sometime maybe. And the lift gate, the button at the back not closing it.
Yeah.
It worked from the touchscreen. I laughed. The technician, he tried it from the fob like I ever tried that. But he couldn't get it to close from the back either. Took it apart. Apparently it was loose in there. What was the fancy word he said?
It was, didn't use the word, it was decoupled.
I don't know. I'll put it up on the. I'll put text over the video.
I've never heard.
Right. I think it was fancy for it was loose. It
Yes.
was loose in there.
Well,
so he secured it.
Yeah, we had
that word I get.
Yeah, we had that repaired. We had that little
fender bender. Yeah, in January.
And they had to push a small dent out in the lift gate. So I think when they took it all apart for that small lift, that connector on that switch was probably left ajar.
Either that, or if they didn't take that part apart, it was, you know, just got loose from being hit.
Right.
So at any point they fixed that. That was not a big deal.
Yeah.
And then I told you that Ruby's infotainment was in, and hardware 3, MCU 2, software upgrade, updates have been being put on the car.
Merry Christmas. That's her Christmas present.
Yes, I'm sure that's true. I'm still working on a temporary replacement camera for my 70D that died. You know, I can't get into the Canon website to even file a thing to send it off, so I'm pretty frustrated. I would at least like to go drop it off and get it on its way, as I figure it's going to be 3 weeks, 4 weeks before I have that camera back, and I just, that's causing me a little trouble. So anyway, Ruby was done at 6. I don't think they close until 7. You know, it's like 45 minutes to an hour up there at rush hour.
Right in the middle
We were
of
getting
supper.
ready to eat. I mean, and he had warned me at 4, borderline this afternoon, tomorrow morning, and I had told him tomorrow morning is fine. Just, you know, like I told the guy up there today, just don't let her get hit. Don't let there be any stuff.
There's been no bad weather.
There's been no bad weather. So even if they took her back outside, it's no big deal. So I said, we'll be up in the morning sometime, not before 10.
Yeah, we're not gonna
we're not gonna get up at the crack of dawn.
Right.
But after Don has his cup of coffee, we'll load up and we'll go up there, and pick her up. So, but they did have her done today, and you can pay in the app, and they could have left the key fob in a secure. I think they leave them in the car, but you have to unlock the car with your phone to get back to the fob. Right. So at any point, we probably could have picked her up tonight, but we decided to go in the morning. Right. So so Dawn hasn't gotten the mail yet, and we're out here at almost 10 o'clock at night, and Dawn is gonna go, I guess it's 9 o'clock, gonna go get the mail.
Right, we plugged in Jules. I've only been charging her up to like 60%, and we drove her quite a while today, about 100 miles.
Yeah, I had Aaron creep this morning for Dawn.
Yeah, Aaron creep. I'll just run you up there. No, and pick up. Yeah, sure.
Now look, we don't ever just go to the one place while we're in the area. Well, we were looking at used cameras.
When we go, we just go. But when we go, we never go just somewhere.
Well, I'm just being efficient. Being efficient. Yeah, I looked at a few used cameras, and I didn't see one that... I think I'm wanting a backup camera anyway, and then a camera until the other camera comes back. So, still looking though. Still looking.
Automatic sensor.
He goes down the hill even in the dark.
I got a hit right.
Okay.
You see my brake light?
Just don't let anything happen to you. He does this pretty frequently. It's fine. And since I blew yesterday, I know there's not a bunch of junk on the driveway. The one with the bigger wheel handles bumps a little better than the one with the little wheel, which is the one he's on now. Hey, sweetheart. Hi. It's kind of sticky out here tonight.